Hi, everyone. Great to be with you. Welcome to Communities. We're back for another season, and next week we're super excited to jump into the book of Daniel. I'm excited. I have like 188 points for week one, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So pray for me that I can whittle it down. And honestly, it is an incredible book that speaks incredibly to what our experience is like as Christians in our culture. Not identically, of course, but there's plenty we can take from it. This past week, we finished up our vision series looking at how we love Jesus, love people, plow a counterculture, and talked a great deal about how that's really just the Great Commandment and the Great Commission put together. We're going to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, love our neighbor as ourselves, but we're also going to go and make disciples. And one of the things we often think is a lot of times in culture, people want top-down movements. The gospel is very much a bottom-up movement. It's relationships. It's God wanting to change us so that when he does change the world, we're the right people. And so as part of that, we have these rhythms we handed out of plowing. And this is just a way to help as you guys are out casting your faith. And some of you guys, it's just supernatural. Some of you guys, it's growth and you feel anxious. I never want you to feel anxious. That our casting of faith comes from loving God and loving others and asking God for a heart to love others and then courage to do it, to step out in faith when he prompts us. It's not legalistic, but it's a cool opportunity to share the gospel and encourage folks. And so here's just some habits for us. You know, habits can be things that either grow us in life or destroy us. The guy who drinks a lot every night, that's a habit that's going to destroy him. People who work out every day, I hear that's a habit that's going to help them. And so let's talk about some of these habits we can take on every day. The first is the P of plows. That's pray. We're going to pray for those that God's put on our heart, that they could hear the gospel, that maybe we'd get opportunity. It's supernatural work. We have a supernatural God. So we don't want to go out and try to reach others for Christ in the flesh. The Bible says we have weapons, the gospel, prayers, word. We want to use them. The L of plows is we're going to listen. We're going to listen to others well. We're going to listen like missionaries. We're going to listen to hear their story. We're going to listen as an act of worship and love. And we want to, as we listen, hear the deep longings, the deep cries for redemption. We want to hear the idols or the wrong beliefs that could be hurting them. And then we lovingly want to hear so we can share the gospel well, what's going on with them. This is open. We're living with an open posture, meaning we're going to try to open our lives to those who don't know Jesus. Maybe that means open our table, open our hobbies up. You don't need to watch football alone. You don't need to if you like bowling or golf. I think it's really cool to bring a few believers and a few people who don't know Jesus yet and have a group where you can eventually build relationships and share the gospel. Because I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard people say, well, I know you're a Christian, but they're not sure about every other Christian. And if you bring a few Christians along, they're like, oh, wow, these are normal people and I could hang with these guys. I could learn about their faith. And so we want to have an open posture. Willing. And this is where we want to be willing to respond to the needs of others. This is opportunities to serve, opportunities to bless. It is hard for people in North Jersey to be served. Everyone would rather serve than be served. But there are times uniquely where you could bless a neighbor, you could bless a friend, you could do something where you're willing to serve them. And ultimately, Christ was willing to serve us, and we follow him, we're servants. And then here's the S, it means we're going to share. At some point, we're going to share an invitation to church, we're going to share our story, we're going to share our testimony, we're going to share the gospel, we're going to share about Christ's love. And the reason just wanted to share it with you guys is hopefully throughout the community group season, this will just give you some language once in a while to say, how's the habits of us casting our faith going? Have you had any opportunities for any of these this week? Did you invite anyone in? Did you share your story? Did you get to serve anyone? Just some language so we can share some habits in the hopes that people could come to know Christ. And so praying for you guys, praying that this season in discipleship is really faith building, build spiritual muscle, but then we wouldn't just be hearers, we'd be doers of the word as well. And so the proclamation would lead to application. Hope you guys have a great discussion.